So let's get these guys glued on. They're going to look so cute. Let's see. So they're actually 8 3/8. I wasn't sure if I was going to cover these, but I think that with them being like a 1/2 inch wide, it's probably a good idea. And this just makes it so much brighter. Such beautiful paper. One of the prettier ones that I've worked with, I think, ever. I really like the way the 5x7 cards turned out. I'll have to pull them and show them to you at the end of the video. Maybe Colleen and I will do another set of those in a different paper because they were fun. The design for those is actually from Graphic 45. Their website has all kinds of projects that you can do with their paper and stuff. They have really pretty tags that I'm considering getting. They're nice and thick. We used, I think we pre-bought them for the 5x7 cards. The camera had a little bit of a hiccup and you missed me putting this guy on. I cut it with some specialty scissors, some Grecians, that do like this little fancy cut that kind of looks like a stamp, like the old-fashioned stamps that, you know, you would lick and put on the envelopes. Now I'm showing my age. And I went ahead and did Life is Beautiful down here, and I did the buzzing up here. This guy was cut a little shorter, if you remember, than the other one down here. So I kind of corrected that with that guy there. So now we have these pockets left. But before we get into that, I wanted to do these guys. Now, these are pockets. There's a large pocket that's here, and then there's just 3 tiny ones for like little tiny tags. And that's what we'll use like these kinds of things on, these kind of little scraps we have. We'll make little tags for them and we'll pop them in there. So I think we're going to go ahead and do this guy first. These corners are going to fold under and we'll glue it to that, and it's just going to be completely darling. And then it'll have the correlating paper right here. There's our die cut. It has little stitching around it. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. And the little corners meet. It's really very, very nice. All right, let's get our book. It's going to look cute with Hello Sunshine right above it, right there. So we'll add some glue to our little tabs. A little bit of glue on here. Just make sure you go edge to edge. You don't want this to come off for sure. And I use the precision tip on my art glitter glue. So it's really a tiny bead that I have on here. I'm going to center it up best I can. Start at the bottom and just kind of climb up. And then we'll brayer it down. Isn't it cute? I'm going to put a little weight on it just to make sure that it sets okay. Give it a minute. We can choose what we're going to put on this. We already have the beehive over there. So how about we do the bees? I think they'll look super cute with them sticking through. See, we can slide this in and it just kind of peeks through. And then you can stick little guys in there. So, and we'll do all that. Okay, so the next die cut I wanted to do is a different kind of pocket. Pinch it a little bit together to create just a small little pocket. And then he will live in there. That's adorable. All right, so we're going to get a hole poked in him. Let me find some ribbon. We'll do the check. Let me grab the hole puncher. I'm going to use the bigger one because it has this big 5/16, which is going to work great for this. I love this ruler. It has the 0 here. I don't know if you can see it, but it has a 0 here. So we can find centers real easy with this guy. So we're looking like it's right there, but I want it above that flower. So I think I'm going to put it there. I love having white pens, black pens, you know, so you can see it when it's on a multicolored thing. There we go. Perfect. And that is, as they say, that. Did I not get an angle? No. Okay, I gotta heat this a little bit. I have the wire cutter one, which melts it when it cuts it, but that's too much work to pull that out. Let's do it this way. So that way it'll have this really cute tie at the top. I didn't apply enough heat. And then we just slide this in here and thread it through. Makes that cute little loop. That's what I was after. That's what we wanted to do. Now we put something on the back. Let's see what I can find. Let's do this guy. So we're going to cut off like right to the red. Keep the same style. I just recently started using these. I've had them for a super long time. The kids used to play with them. They loved them. But I just started using them recently. And they're kind of cool. I really like the way they make things look. I do. All right, let's get that down to the red. Oops, I went in too far. No. There we go. I kind of wish they made these. And they may. I just haven't seen them in like a 9.5. So you don't have to worry about realigning it again. It's not that I'm lazy. It's just that I'm lazy. There we go. Doesn't that look cute? All right. We're moving right along. Okay. And we could put a photo on top of it and cover that bee up, but I really hope not. And we'll make smaller tags to go in the front pocket in a bit. But I think that is just so cute. Okay, so I went ahead and cut these pieces out so that you did not have to watch that for the next 20 minutes. And I decided to go with the opposite side on this paper since we hadn't used this one yet. So we're going to go ahead and use that. And what I'm going to do is I have this really pretty stamp from Hero Arts. So we're just going to go ahead and pop that on there so that it has something decorative. And I'm going to use a mouse pad underneath of it because when you do that, you get a nice, pretty impression from it and it doesn't miss or fade, keeps it nice and stark. I'm using Picket Fences Black Intense ink. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to go ahead and glue these down, and when I turn this back on, they'll all be finished. Okay, so I got all of them stamped, glued on, added a couple more embellishments, and now I'm thinking that at these little spots here, I just want to break up some of this yellow. I have, with my little circle punch, I'm going to put a little bee there. So just kind of add something different to it. Give it a little dimension. Okay, so I found this off-white vanilla-y color. It's not quite yellow, but it's not stark white either. So I'm going to put that on the back of these for where the photos are going to go. And I dug out a photo stamp for a 4x4 photo because this guy happens to be, let me put it on the yellow side. This guy happens to be from corner to corner 4.5. So if I do it at 4.25, then it's going to fit kind of like this does. Okay, so these are the backs, these are the fronts, and I think that we are ready to put them in our folio. And let this be the cover sheet for all the others underneath of it. And then I'll put this across the top so it all kind of comes together. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So I can't move this because it's taped. So let me get to glue in here. All right. Now, this guy, he goes on the bottom and then he comes up like so. I'm going to use a Velcro to do the closure. And the closure I'm using for this guy is really cool. Okay. Now, the way I apply these is I put the one end down and then the other on top of it with the sticky revealed. Okay. And with photos, they're going to put things in this. So you don't want to put it tight. You want to kind of do it a little loose, so that when they put things in it, it still has some room under there. So that's there. And now let's get the glue on. I should have done the glue first. I'm not going to lie. Should have done the glue first. That was total mess up on my side. Just lift it up and bring it down. So let me get this pinned. And then I want to work on what we're doing on the very, very, very back of this. And let's find something for the back. How about we do this? This is really pretty. It'll add a little bit of green in here. And this also helps hold this tab on. It kind of gives it a little more reinforcement. I like it. It looks marvelous. All right. So that gives us a couple of them are upside down. There's nothing I can do. They'll be covered by pictures. I could have paid more attention in the beginning. That's what I could have done. And now I have a happy little bee to live on top of here. There we go. And that is the waterfall. It opens like that. They got all kinds of little treasures they can find. in there. I like to use every bit of the paper that I can. So one of the ways that I use my scraps that are left are with different die cuts that have just different shapes and just add a little more to the folio. Now, we don't have a lot of scraps. I mean, we used almost everything. There's not much left at all. So I'm going to cut some tags out rather than put you guys through watching me speed through a bunch of die cutting. I'm going to go ahead and cut as many as I can. And then when I get back, they're all going to be done. Okay, so I got quite a few cut out. I did fronts and backs, so that gives us a couple of tiny ones, some medium-sized ones, and a couple of large ones. So let's get these guys glued together, and then we will figure out where we're going to go from here. Use the same ribbon as we did with the other ones. Keep everything nice and uniform. So get these tied up. And this uses the rest of the spool for me, so I'm going to have to find some more. And if you are wondering where we found this, it was actually at our local Dollar Tree. Our Dollar Tree has $3 and $5 items. So I don't know how they're even keeping the name, because it's definitely not $1 anymore. It's not good. I still have to heat all these, but I'll do that later. All right, these guys are all done. Now I want to add something to them. So I pulled out some stamps. I have some bees that are happy little bees, and I have some stamps like "It takes courage to bloom." I think that one's pretty. The best time for new beginnings is now. They're just so encouraging. I don't know if it's going to fit. Yeah, well, I'm going to use the Misty to pop these guys on though. That way I don't have to worry about if it doesn't stamp all the way. I can just reposition and redo. Oh, hit the mic. Excuse me. All right, I think I'll put it on the yellow side. And this Misty is so cool if you've never seen one. It has a little magnet that holds your stuff still. You put it in a corner, line it up, close the door. And when you open the door, look at that, it's stuck. And as long as you keep repositioning in it and making sure it's in the corner with the magnet on there, you can stamp this 100 times. I'm still using the Picket Fence Intense Black. I love this stuff. It's amazing. And then I just close the door on it and use my impressionable. Pop that down. Open it up. I'm going to get these nice and dark. Make sure it's in the corner. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And this will probably be the last one. And this way, if I put my hand in the ink, I don't actually get it on the paper, because by the time this is done, the ink will be dry. There we go. That looks good. I like it. It looks very pretty. Set that aside to dry. Okay, next, might be able to put the bees on here. So I have little happy bees. And this guy is from Sunny Studio. The other one was Sizzix. And I will have these all in the description. I can't wait till I can get this ID. But everything takes forever still to get anything, at least in my area. I think I'll do a little beehive and hopefully be able to fit a bee up there. I'm hoping. Hopefully. He looks happy. Ooh, that's going to be close. It's going to be super close just because of the size of this thing and the magnet. So hopefully it works. If not, I'll have to do it by hand. And these are thin lines, so doing this one by hand isn't as horrible. I would rather not, but I'm capable if I'm careful. Oh, it worked. It worked just fine. I'll just put a little bit more on. It's as dark as I can. Oh, there he goes. Now he looks cute. Little bee. Put him up here to dry. What else do we have? Here we go. Now I can kind of spread them out a little bit more and maybe get the whole scene in there, because it is a cute little scene. Here it is. Let's see. We are meant to, just because that's what I want. Or actually, I can line this up with this and have this guy. But we'll have this guy going up that way. Let's see if we can get the other bee in here. They're so happy with their little smiley faces. Let's see how this is going to fall. And these are photopolymer stamps. And the reason why that is so important is photopolymer stamps, to me, they just hold ink better. They seem to form better in the molds. And when they're cut, they're just better, in my opinion. These are unseasoned stamps, which means that they're new and they haven't seen a lot of use, and the ink just still sticks to them. Okay, I think that looks cute. So we'll pop him away. And if you find that your stamps aren't clinging, if you wash them with just some water, or if they're really bad, like if you've left it out and they have dust collecting on them, you can put a mild dish detergent on them as well. If you have stubborn ink that won't come off, stays on, this stuff right here works so well to get them cleaned up. I got them stamped. Let's get this put away. And now let's finish our book. Okay, finishing touches are upon us. All right. So, I mean, I know that we have to do a closure for it, but I want to do the closure after we load it full of all this stuff. So that way I know how big it's going to be. Okay, so we have this guy who's going to need a tag. Let's do this little one sticking out. That looks fun. And he has Queen Bee on the back, so he's fun. All right. And now we have these side pieces, side pocket. Let me fold that so you can see. Okay, so we have these side pockets, and I actually have, that's not a journaling card. I actually have 4 cards I'm going to put inside of them. One is a journaling card, they could write a little thing on. I'm not going to do anything else to these guys. I'm just going to pop them in here and put some photos or something on them later. So they're going to live happily in here. And then we have somewhere, where did it go? There it is. We have these. These guys are perfect for the little tags. They're perfect for the little tags. Maybe even one of the journaling ones. They all have the same back. No, this guy has a honeycomb. So if we slide him in here, I don't like to glue these pockets down because I like to be able to put these long pieces in and put in a few random tags just to give it some color. The green one up here, and kind of let them live in there like that. And this guy, he already has a little one in there. I think we could probably do a bigger one, the Queen Bee in there. There we go. She looks pretty in there. Okay, so all that's left is filling these guys up. I'll put one here and the little tiny baby one there and divvy these up. I just think it looks so cool to have just different things tucked in that can be pulled out. I just love it. But I also want to make sure that none of them get folded as they're in here. Let him live. He's going to fall out of there. So let's put him in with that one there. I'm glad you guys came along with me for this. I really am. Okay, so next we are going to be making our band to keep it closed. I'm going to do what's called a belly band. We had some of this left over. So I'm just really gonna fold a piece of this into a 1-inch strip, and I'm gonna pop it across here. And then I'm going to feed a ribbon through it that will come around to the front and it will tie. So that's how I'm going to close this. So let's get that happening. To need my cutter, and I'm going to cut this down to 5 3/4. We have nothing left. We used an entire 2 12 by 12 paper packs on this guy. We'll do 2.5 by 5 3/4. As long as I have an inch in the center, I should be fine. The ribbon itself is 3/4 of an inch wide. I know that already. And I did pick that up from the Dollar Tree. Love the Dollar Tree. We're getting ready to go and do a trip there soon. There's some things that we need. My bone folder. So I'm going to fold this guy into thirds. Then I have to figure out, are we centering it? Because there's this cute little bee I do not want to cover up. I really don't. So I'm going to put it right above him. So it's going to wind up right here. So let's get our ribbon cut. So we're going to do 30 inches here and about. Let's get the ribbon done. And now I have heat here somewhere. Here's a lighter. Just touch it so that it doesn't fray. Pop this open and get this glued down. I'm going to put the ribbon in first. I'm going to be smart and put the ribbon in. So I want the ribbon end to come that way. So we got the ribbon in there. Get it out of the way. I don't want it to get glued. So it looks like I can come straight down this side here. And the paper is going to catch and not glue the ribbon, which would be horrible. That would just be awful. Okay, let's get that to catch. Make sure there's no glue at at the edges. Yay. All right. That worked out. Now let's see if we can get this part to work out. Where's my mouse? Here he is. Okay. So now we need to attach this guy, and I'm going to put him up above the B. I really don't want to cover that B. So let's get this glued down, and it's going to be untied and tied and untied and tied. So I'm going to make sure that it's nice and gluey, nice and sticky, so it gets stuck. I don't really want to have to make repairs. Put him right above his wing here. Eyeball it. Here we go. All right, let's get it all braided down. Get her opened up and pushed on the other side, which is here. So I found it. This is just so beautiful. I really hope that you guys make one of these. A couple of you make one and post it in our Facebook group. I would just love to see what you guys came up with, whether it's the same paper pack from Graphic 45 or something else. Just put a little bow here, and she will tie up really pretty. There it is, our sunflower folio. And I am so glad that you guys hung around with me and that we got this all done together. Let me see what your folios look like. Pop them into Facebook. We'd love to see them. And as always, happy crafting to you.